Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Raquelle Lynnette. If this is your first time here, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see by today's title, I'm really going to break down how to do your makeup in 2021. We have retired some of our past traditions, some of our past techniques. I just want to bring you guys up to speed and break it down if you are a beginner in makeup. I will be providing high-end and drugstore dupes. So if you're interested in seeing how to get this beat faced, you're more than welcome to continue on watching. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
Pull up, hop out, then she swerve. Do your two-step, your little catwalk, make it work. Make it work, Jill dance, make it work, strike a pose. Make it work, Jill dance, make it work, strike a pose. I pull up, hop out, then I swerve. Do my two-step, my leg.
Alright guys, so today we are just going to be doing a very beginner-friendly how to do your makeup. It is 2021 and some of the makeup techniques that I even was introduced to have definitely expired, and I have just really learned how to use not the most product, but just enough product to get myself looking beat. So I would like to just break down some of the newer techniques, some of the newer things that I've learned, and yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. It's a lot, y'all. I had to dig deep, okay? I had to dig deep into my makeup collection and find some alternative affordable makeup. I haven't really ever been one to use affordable makeup. The last time I was using affordable makeup, my babies were 3 and 4. I have been into the luxe makeup for a while now. And everyone has their thing, and luxury makeup is definitely my thing. I've just been so married to it. It was hard to go back in time and really try out some other things that would work. So I took the time and did that for you guys. So trust my judgment when I tell you that some of these alternatives will work for you. You don't have to have the most expensive stuff. If you're new to this, definitely don't go ahead and go get the most expensive thing, because you're probably gonna waste it and not know what you're doing. Okay, so anyways, no more rambling. Let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so first and foremost, my brows are already done off camera, and I have an in-depth how I do my eyebrow tutorial that I have linked. If you need that step-by-step, I broke that down, and that is a step-by-step process, and I felt as if it needed its own video. So first things first, your skin underneath your makeup is number one, baby. We're not putting makeup on to mask the skin. We are putting makeup on to accentuate our beauty. We're not trying to cover up our face. And in an age of social media, everybody wants to look perfect, and I do want to let you know, unless you have glass skin, people like me, you're going to see a little bit of texture, you're going to maybe see a little bit of creasing, but the techniques that I'm going to show you will try to mimic a very flawless finish. But first things first, you have to prep your skin, and that was the number one thing I never knew how to do back in the day. I would just see some YouTubers use some silicone-based primer, put that in my face, and put some Maybelline on, y'all, and it would be a complete greasy mess, okay? I have definitely come a long way, and if you are back there, we're gonna bring you up to the times, okay? So first things first, you're gonna wanna use a mist to wake your skin up. I always use a skin mist to wake my skin up. So the one that I always particularly use is the Murad. It's the 3-in-1 probiotic. Absolutely married to that. Absolutely married to that. It has probiotics for your skin, and it's good for everyone. Even if you have cystic acne, I can honestly vouch for you. That is going to be your best bet. Before I got that, I've been using the Raquellely. This is a beauty essence elixir. It just smells very good. It has grape water and it has mint. Really refreshing, as if you're at a spa. And this is a little bit pricier, but it's definitely worth every cent. If you don't want to invest that much, they do have a trial size as well. And so my alternative would be the niacinamide. This is by Revolution Makeup. It has a really fresh scent as well, and then this is a clarifying essence spray. So here's your high-end that I've been married to for, I would say, about 3.5 years now, and then here could be your dupe, and you can get this at Ulta in-store. It smells so good. Y'all, I can't describe the way it smells. You have to go get it. It's the only way that you'll know what I'm talking about. It's something you've never smelled before, is what I say. Okay, step number 2. So we have misted our face, and we just woke up our skin. Something's going to happen. That's why I got misted. So next, you're going to apply a serum. So if you have, it all depends on what your skin needs to do throughout the day, okay? So for me, I have darker skin, and I have darker marks on my skin. I need something vitamin C to really help boost those dark spots throughout the day. So I'm going to use a vitamin C serum. What I have for the affordable option is this Bright Idea Vitamin C Pro Collagen Brighten and Firm Serum this is by Bliss. very affordable. It does smell. It has a fragrance of citrus, which it's not going to bother your skin, I don't think, but there is a little bit of fragrance in there, signifying, you know, the vitamin C. Vitamin C brightens your skin. And the other one that I usually use, or I have been using, which is awesome, is the Kate Somerville Vitamin B3 and Vitamin C. This is their Brighten and Even. So I really love this. I usually mix this with another one of their serums, but today, since I'm doing the dupes, I'm just going to use one. So we're gonna go ahead and apply Kate Somerville over here, an expensive side. And then we're going to put the Bliss over here. All right, so we're gonna work both of them in. All right, so you always let your products dry down in between applying the next thing, because if you pile too many products on top of each other, number one, they're not going to do their job. Number two, the products are gonna start to roll off of your skin, and that's just not good. It's a waste of money, it's a waste of product, it's a waste of your time, because you're gonna have stuff rolling off. So just always take those extra few seconds to let everything absorb. So next, I don't have an affordable option for you guys for a primer. I'm not going to lie, mostly everything that is affordable contains silicone. Is going to slip off your skin. I don't think silicone is going to work for anyone's skin unless you have perfect glass skin, and it just doesn't do too much. Every time I try to switch up and try an affordable primer, I have a breakout, and this is just me. I'm sorry guys, I just don't have an alternative option. I tried the e.l.f. and I broke out from the e.l.f. Maybe you could try that if you would like to. However, I broke out. And maybe I could try another one. If you guys have any suggestions for me even, I'm an open book. I just have never found an affordable primer that works well for my skin, that does not break me out or leave me oily and silicone-y. And that is on Jesus' sandals. I just never have. Maybe affordable meaning like a trial size. I would say if you can't buy the full size, go ahead and figure out your skin type, which is so important to your foundation, your concealer, powder, everything that you're going to do with your makeup. You first and foremost have to figure out your skin type. I have combination acne prone skin. So some areas it's oily, some areas is dry, some areas are acne prone, and some areas are normal. So I have very combination skin. And the things that I have tried, the more not affordable options have not broken me out, and that's just what I can say. What I can say is just try to get either trial size of certain things, figure out your skin type, go start getting trial sizes of some primers that are really going to not be problematic to your skin. I'm so sorry I don't have an affordable option for you guys, but this water jelly is kind of a universal primer. It's one of those foundation primers that really just grips to your skin. So that's why I'm going to use this. This could like double over as a skincare product, which is originally was supposed to be some type of skincare hydrating something. My skin is a little bit more on the drier side. It's getting hot out here in Vegas. So to prevent the oiliness, I just set a light layer of translucent powder over my skin, and that really just helps to calm down the oiliness throughout the day. And a primer for your skin is used to create a barrier between your foundation and your skin. You're also going to have to prime underneath your chin. I've been getting breakouts underneath my chin because I wasn't priming, so don't forget to prime underneath your chin. And a primer is never supposed to be worked into your skin as a moisturizer. You're supposed to just gently glide it over your skin and pat it in until it is dried down. So next, things that have changed in my makeup routine over the course of my makeup journey. I used to always do my eyes first, you guys. I used to always do my eyes first because back then I was wearing 18 different shades of color on my eyes. You know, that was the generation of makeup that I came in. I mean, I know some people still do it, but that was me back then. I was always wearing bold colors and there was a bunch of fallout underneath my eye. So I just want to say, it is really your decision if you want to do your eyeshadow before or after. For me, now, since I always do mostly like a neutral face, I just always do my face first. It really helps you get through your makeup way quicker than doing your eyes first. It just does. I don't know. It just does. I have really turned that around. But so yeah, that's what happens. So next, just going to pick up a little bit of the Huda Beauty. This is a Blondie powder. This does have a little bit of fragrance in it, but it does not irritate my sensitive skin. So I'm just going to dust a light layer of translucent powder over those areas and also set my smile lines. Setting your smile lines when you smile, you know, because your makeup and stuff will crease and you'll be looking crazy. So you want to set that with a translucent powder before putting anything on. Boom. So as you can see, it really just helps to neutralize and mask my pores. I have larger pores right there because I used to pick my face. So next we're going to go ahead and apply our foundation. The two foundations that I pulled for today, I would say the Morphe Filter Effect foundation is amazing for an affordable foundation. Brand new on the market. I did a wear test and review of this. It's a very silky, it's not a mattifying foundation, but it can be set to be matte. It's really good it's a really good foundation that is actually affordable. You can go ahead and pick up at Ulta in store. And then the Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation, I feel like these two kind of would mimic each other. This is you can tell this is higher end, of course, but if you're starting out and you really don't know what your skin type is, or you just want a foundation to play around in until you really find your match, I would suggest doing that. I'm going to be using this today because I'm going to be setting my foundation. If I was wearing a mattifying foundation, I wouldn't be able to show you guys all of the steps. So that's why I went with a silky faux filter finish foundation. When you apply your foundation, a lot of people I used to always just blend everything out with a beauty sponge, but finding now that just absorbs too much product, you're gonna want to use a flat foundation brush. This is a Hank & Henry Miranda flat foundation brush. Really blend it into your skin, and then for the airbrush finish it off with a beauty blender. That's going to be your best bet unless you have, you know, cystic acne or something, and you really need a very light blend because you don't want to tear any of your blemishes or anything. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then that'll also allow for you to build up the layers, and rather than having a full beauty sponge full of foundation. And this is a medium full coverage, so I'm gonna go ahead and build this up 2 layers. Always get underneath your chin and your neck because you don't want it to be 2 different colors. People will call you out and try to clown you, okay? And also you get back onto your ear if your ear is going to be exposed. Go around your brows and blend out the concealer if you decide to clean up your eyebrows. I know that everyone is using the bushy brows. I know, I'm not. And then the same with the other side. You don't need that much with Huda because this is thick. I don't need to build this up 2 layers because she's thick with 3 C's, okay? See the difference? Such a full coverage with the Huda Beauty. So as you can see, this is a little bit more lighter coverage even with 2 coats, and that is straight up covering up all my darkest secrets. Next, we are going to conceal. Back in the day, I used to do my concealer and everything all together. We don't do that anymore. It's going to be wasting way too much product. It's just not going to work. It's not going to. It's going to be one big mushy mess. Do not be fooled by these TikTok and viral Instagram videos, y'all. They're going to lead you wrong most of the time, okay? So, concealing, and we're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. For the affordable option, we're going to go ahead and go with the Maybelline. This is the Age Rewind. This one really is an amazing concealer, you guys. Probably the best one you're going to find at a drugstore. Next, we're going to go ahead and take this Marc Jacobs. This is the Extra Shot. This is a brand new concealer. Love it. It's in tan, and these are both really good. Now, back in the day, I used to make a triangle underneath my eye. That was still using a little bit too much product, I found out now. The new thing is that we just put it in the middle right there, and then we put it a line out there, okay? We're going to blend this onto the nose to try to define the nose. I don't have a bridge on my nose, so I really have to create it. So we're going to blend that onto the nose, and then not bring it down so much, just a little bit, and just using that little bit of product is going to serve us enough. Now if I wanted to go back and brighten it up underneath my eyes, I could go back and just put a brightening concealer right there and blend it out to brighten it. But having the big triangle and all the lines and stuff is dead. That's over. We don't know her. We don't even know who she is, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and blend that out. And then I always put it right here because I have darker spots right there. And then we'll do half right there. And then you want to either blend your concealer out with a concealer brush, which takes a little bit more time. I usually always 100% blend everything out with the Beauty Blender. I like the airbrush finish that it gives for my concealer. And the brush, I mean, I'll do it, but like, I always still have to go back with the Beauty Blender, so you might as well just go with the Beauty Blender or the Beauty Sponge. So this is the Juno sponge. This is the affordable option. You can actually get this in store at Target now, and this is the actual name brand Beauty Blender. So this one has a soft velvety feel. This one is very spongy, like she's never led me astray, but this one is way softer, y'all. This one is way softer, so I mean, it's all what you want. Like, both are okay. It's not like one of those super hard, cheap ones. I feel like this is the only alternative. This one is better than the Real Techniques. I like Juno better than Real Techniques, which is why we're featuring it today. And then you blend down the bridge of your nose, and then you blend it underneath your eye. And then you start taking this and blending it back in there. We don't want too much product, just enough. I used to use so much concealer back in the day. I would always have extra, and I would just put it on my eye to make a base for the shadow. This is way more full coverage, as you can see. That one's like a sheer. You're gonna have to put a little bit more or a second coat. As you can see, this one, the more expensive one, has more coverage. And that's just a Mary hat, and that's just how the cookie crumbles, you know? All right, so we are all blended out. As you can see, again, this one is a little bit more lighter coverage than that. It is what it is. So also, we're going to move to setting powder. So I don't bake anymore. We don't bake anymore. That's all I have to say. I'm going to set my concealed areas with a yellow tinted powder. I haven't found a good affordable option for that, but what you could use is the Airspun. That is just a universal translucent powder that oxidizes and looks perfect on everyone. I promise you, even if you have the deepest skin tone, if you spray a little bit of Misty Spray over it and just allow your body to live in it and have the heat work with the powder, it's going to work for you. But today we're going to be using the Huda Beauty. This is the Blondie powder, one of my absolute favorite powders. Back in the day, I used to just use a blending, like if I'm in a rush, I'll still use a beauty sponge to set underneath my eyes. But this is when the brush comes into play. I like setting my translucent powder with a concealer brush these days. It doesn't give a super cakey look. It just gives a very airbrushed under eye look. And then I can really set where I want on my nose as well. With the sponge, it's just a little bulky. I can't really put it everywhere that I want it to be. But with the brush, as you can see, I can pat in place wherever I need to. So after, we don't let this sit or bake for like 10 minutes like we used to in the past. We just allow it to sit, and we set the rest of our face as the powder is on our face, if that makes sense. So as you guys know, I used like a silky finish, velvet filter finish foundation. So that is going to transfer, and you want to set that a little bit with at least a translucent powder or a powder foundation. Today I'll be using the Fenty Beauty. This is their Pro Filter foundation in 385. Affordable option would be to use the Fit Bee by Maybelline in whatever shade that comes in for you. And you simply set. I like to stipple it in. I don't want it to be too cakey, so I just take a little bit and just stipple it in and simply set the areas. And then dust away the translucent powder at the same time. Boom. It just locks everything into place and takes away from the transfer in it. So after we're done setting the powder foundation, we just simply take away the rest of the translucent powder on our face. Next, we're going to move on to our eyes. So after I lay my face down, my foundation, that's when I move on to my eyes. So we are going to be using the Vanessa X Juvia's Place palette and the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions. I feel like these have similar colors and I'm going to do the same eye look. So if I could get these open, I'll show y'all. So in the Vanessa palette, I'm going to use the shade BSG and Busy. We're just going to do a very, very simple eye, you guys. Like a very, very simple everyday eye. I'm telling you, just a very, very simple everyday eye. Okay? I mean, just 2 colors. 2 or 3, just 2 colors and 1 color in our tear duct. So I'm going to use BSG, and then I'm going to place this on my lid. And then I'm going to use the Huda Beauty. I'm going to use this brown and then that cream shade. So that is Huda Beauty side, and then we're going to pick up the BSG side. Next, we're just lightly going to cut our crease, which means laying down a base that is very precise that we can put the lid color on. So I have a little concealer in my eye, and then you just start to pat it in and work it out. This is not going to be too precise. This is just every day, but when you do a cut crease, you lay down either the same color shade as the eyeshadow that you're going to place on top. Like I could have put down a baby blue base if I was going to put a baby blue shadow on, or I could put down a white base if I wanted to make the shadow that's on the lid brighter. But since this is just going to be that nudish peachy shade, I'm just going to put down a concealer. And I'm patting it on. Now you could get really deep into this and very precise with different brushes and whatnot, different shade, different techniques, but for an everyday, on the go, neutral look, this is going to be your best bet. Just put some concealer down, pat it out. So just rubbing the excess concealer off a little bit, I'll be picking up the Huda Beauty and putting that peachy nudish shade on, laying that right on there, and you just pat it in. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the other side. So Vanessa side is a little bit deeper, but you know, basically the same thing. So then you just use that same shade that you put into the crease, and then you buff it into the outer part of the shadow to make it look seamless. You don't want it too harsh. All right, boom. So next onto liners. One liquid eyeliner that I would say stands above its rest in the affordable aspect is the Wet n Wild. Y'all, the Wet n Wild Mega Liner is the best of the best. It is like waterproof. It dries down super matte, and I can't believe that it's in the drugstore. Now that has been something that I have brought with me through every walk of life through this makeup journey. That is something that is an amazing formula, and you really can't beat the formula, and the price for $5 is the best of the best. But it's packed up somewhere and I couldn't find it today, but I did want to give an honorable mention that I would have used it today. I still use that all the time. It's an amazing eyeliner. Now for the other end, so I really do like this Huda Beauty. This is their dual life liner, and it's an eyeliner and it's also a liquid liner. And I like it because it's like a gel hybrid. So as you see, the fox eye look is in style. It's never really gone out of style, but it's back trending. And a lot of people like to use it with a brown liner. And I was going to do a brown liner, but I just figured why not just come on here and use the black liner, since I don't know an equivalent or an affordable dupe for a brown liner at this point. So this is it. It's like a hybrid gel liquid liner, and it just stays all day. And rather than having a super thick line, you know, you're going to have to really fill yourself up with this. You're really going to have to figure out your eye angles, what kind of eye shape you have, and then you figure out where you cut it right there, then you make the line, you follow that line up, and then you just bring it in a little bit. Start out small and then build it up. I could go into detail about how to do your eyeliner, just like my eyebrow tutorial, but today we're just I'm going to present it to you and show you how it should be done. And if you guys would like for me to go into depth, just let me know, leave a comment, and I will do that. But I always bring it up. I start here with a very light hand. I drag it up. To about right there. And then I go right above it and just start to drag it in. And there I've created a wing. That was very hard to do on camera, if I might add. And then you just continue along the lash line very, very lightly and as close to the lash line as possible. I like to just set the side on there and then drag. After I get the wing done, then I go to the middle and start to work towards the outward part. Then you create the fox-like eye in here. So next I'm gonna go ahead and line my waterline. I usually use the Benefit Brow High Brow, which is the perfect nude liner to line my eyes. Back in the day, we used to use a white liner. That is very outdated, please don't do that. We're using a nude liner in our waterline. It really opens up the eye, gives a very warm, welcoming, hi guys. You know what I mean? So that's why I like to use a nude liner, and I'm going to line it right now. Alright, so next is mascara, and it all depends on what kind of mascara you want to use. There are really good affordable ones. I really like all of the Maybelline mascaras, and I really do like this brand new one, the 5D Lash by Makeup Revolution. And so this is a extra dimension mascara. When you're using mascara, I'm sure if you're watching this, I mean if you're very, very new and you've never even put mascara on, you start from the bottom, closest to your waterline, and then you work your way up through the lash slowly. And you can build mascara up more than one coat after you let it dry in between each coat. If you're not wearing lashes, I would suggest building up more than one layer. If you are wearing fake lashes, I don't think you need to build it up 2 layers because you just need the black coat in your eyelash. And then here's the second one. I love this mascara. This definitely has my lashes longer than that one though. It really, really does. Then you want to get underneath use a very light hand and get your baby lashes underneath. That really brightens and opens your eye up. So this, the Laura Mercier definitely gives more lift, but this is still good. It's still a good mascara. Alright, so after I'm done with my eyes, that's when I like to bring the dimension back to my face. Laying down the concealer, laying down the powder and your foundation, that really just creates a bare canvas. Highlight, and then when you contour, that brings back dimension to your face so we don't look like an egg. So we're going to try out the Morphe. This is the Avani Greg, and then the Fenty Beauty Mokomami. These are both bronzers, but I'm going to use them as a contour. So, I like to get a bronzer deeper because I find that when I use regular contour, it just becomes a little bit too muddy. So if I take a bronzer that is deeper than the actual bronzer shade I'm supposed to be using, it has a red undertone and it just really works for me. That's my thing. That's just my thing and it works well for me. If you don't want to do this, if you want to use a contour, you can use a contour instead of using a deeper bronzer. So this one has a shimmer in it, so it's not going to be identical, but then you start to press it in and you go higher than what you think you're gonna go. I used to go underneath back in the day and it just threw my face shape completely off. Then you blend your contour up. You go back behind your ears and then you always go underneath your chin. Doesn't matter if you have this narrowest face, you want to go underneath your chin. I have a little bit of a double chin. Thank you so much, quarantine. But yes, you go underneath it and that really just masks and really helps to chisel and define your face. And then we're going to use this brush for the Fenty. Blending up. You don't have to blend up when you go underneath your chin. You actually want to pull it back and down. And then create a bridge for your nose. Some of you may already have a bridge. I don't. So that's why I take the contour very lightly on the sides of my nose to slenderize it and make it look like I have a bridge. And to bring the focus of my nose up. And then I just go like that and put some color on my nostrils. And you just shape your nose the way you need to shape. I'm going to do an updated contour and highlight routine. Next, I am going to highlight my face. So some people don't highlight. If you have oilier skin or you just have that natural sheen that shines through your face, or you don't like the highlighted look, you can really completely skip this. But I like to highlight to bring the dimension back to my nose right here, and then the highlights of my cheeks as well. So for the high-end one, I'm going to be using, this is the Dose of Colors, this is the Chasing the Sun, and then for the other one, I'm going to be using the Maybelline. It is 100, and that one is only like $10. You can get that one at the drugstore. You can get that one at Ulta Beauty. You can do all that. There's like a guy watching me across the street, you guys. I'm so fucking freaked out. Oh my God. This is my favorite drugstore highlighter. I like it because you can get it at Ulta or you could get it at the drugstore. Best $10 you're gonna spend on a highlighter. It's like a creamy, it's like a cream to powder highlighter. It's really innovative. And Maybelline Snap. I'm telling you guys, Maybelline definitely is like my favorite brand in the drugstore. And then this one is a limited edition, but I bought a couple of backups because it's just a perfect gold, and I've been using it on vacation. It is so beautiful, you guys. There's a bunch of different highlights you can use, but these are two of my favorites that are trusty and true. So when you highlight, I used to highlight all the way down here, all the way over there, just looking like a dang grease ball. But now I know that I bring it right here, right where the sun hits. And I've been using my fingers because using a brush just kind of offsets it. As you see, this is where you want it to hit. See? The tips of your temples. And then I'm going to apply a little more because I'm about to glow today. And then you just press a little bit. As you can see, it just draws your attention to the tip of your nose and creates the nose shape. Whatever is left, put it on the bridge right there. And then I like to take it over right here to help define my lip, and then my chin to bring my chin forward to take the attention away from my double chin. What would you think? Okay, so that is that one. I'm gonna show you this one. I love them both. All right, so after mascara and bringing some shade back to my face, I like to pop on my eyelashes. I'm not going to use an affordable lash and a high-end lash. I'm just going to show you these one pretty spring lashes that are super bomb. These are by Vita Alice, and they're not too much, but they're not too little either. This is their signature Alice. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop these on. Back in the day, I used to use black duo gel or hair gel, y'all. Back in the day, and then I was wondering why were my eyelashes balding, because I was using such a heavy adhesive. I've been using this duo. This is the brush on adhesive, and it's clear, and you don't have to wait for it to dry down. You just brush it on there and then you put it on your lash and it adheres, and it doesn't have a bunch of residue stuck to your eyelashes, your real eyelashes, which I really like. The only thing I will say is that you can see all of the stuff around it because it does leak, and no matter what I do, I take it up with me, it just leaks. I don't know, I really think they should think about doing different packaging, but the formula is worth it. So I'll just show you. You just brush a very light layer onto your lash, very light layer. Seriously, you don't need too much. The lightest layer, and make sure you get the ends because that's really what tries to lift, especially on the tear duct of your eye. And then I press down at the beginning towards the tear duct, and then I press the other side down, and then you push onto the lash Get it as close to your waterline as possible without poking yourself in the eye. Once it's laid on there, you take your real lash and the fake lash and you press it together. Alright, so we're almost at our end stretch here. Woo, we made it, you guys. To be honest with you, I don't really have a liquid lipstick that would work or be a dupe, but I know that there are some affordable options. NYX has some really good liquid lipsticks that you guys could use. You can get those at the drugstore or Ulta. I'm going to be using the Hank & Henry. This is the Bouffant. This is my current fave. This is a nude pink. Nude pink is what looks good on me. If you're a different shade than me, you may not have a nude pink shade that looks good on you. Whatever it is, it may be like more tan, but you have to put a nudish color, pink color, in the middle of your lips after you line it to create a perfect nude lip. So I'm going to be lining my lips with the Limitless Brown lip liner. This is the Makeup Forever Limitless Brown lip liner, a splurge. I'm telling you, it's not like one of the drugstore lip liners. The only lip liner I would say from the drugstore that's not like really waxy would be the NYX Espresso. That's what I've been using. I would use it. That one, it's a little really drying, but it's really good and it's going to stay up all day. That is going to be your best bet for the drugstore. Everything else is like way waxy and it's going to start bleeding. This is awesome because it's not just a lip liner, it's just a pencil. You could use this on your waterline if you want a brown waterline. You could use it anywhere on your face. So I like it on my lips. It is the absolute perfect brown for my lips. So you line your lips by just going by your lips. If you have full lips like me, you don't really necessarily have to overline. If you have thinner lips, you could go ahead and overline. I just like to trace my lip. I have freckles on my lips and lighter pink lips, you know, so I like to line to create my perfect nude lip. If you have more melanin on the outside of your lips or have darker outsides, you could possibly skip this step, but a lot of people don't, so unless you're one of those chosen by God. How does it feel to be God's favorite, huh? Next, I'm going to dab that in the middle of my lips. You have to either put a liquid lipstick or a lipstick after that and then a gloss. That's what creates it. It's a 3-step or 4-step process. You could use more than one lip gloss, more than one lipstick, but you have to put a liner and then another color in the middle. The perfect nude pink, the perfect peachy nude. Then you blend it into the liner because you don't want any harsh lines. And I could leave it like this if you're into the matte look. I feel like that's kind of 2016. Sometimes it's good for, you know, the mask, but I always like to have a gloss. Always like a gloss. We're going to take this Morphe. This is Freebird. And then we're going to take this Laura Mercier Bare Beige. And an equivalent to set your face if you wanted a really good affordable option. So the affordable option would be the Morphe setting spray, but the drugstore option would be the NYX, and that's the small black one. That's going to really mattify your face if you're oily, if you're, you know what I mean. And if you need a luminizing one, I would just go ahead and just use the Morphe. So I'm going to use the Farsali. This is the Rose 24 Rose Gold Skin Mist, and I like this because it's not too dehydrating. It sets, and it also has a really good smell, and I like how it makes it take the time. So let's go ahead and set this. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. Hopefully you guys got the breakdown. I wanted to break it down, make it be very technical, very simple. An updated look for 2021. We're not using so much of our product like we used to do in the past. Those days are over. So if you enjoyed this, if you took anything away from this, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you would like for me to continue this how-to series. And I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye!